Everybody, and welcome back. And in last week's video we saw the seventh instance where Israelites tested God by doing idolatry worship. We saw, and we also read about how God was ready. God did not destroy the Israelites, rather he punished them, and through Moses, and 3,000 of the Israelites had died on that day. So today we're going to see the 8th and 9th instance about how the Israelites had tested God once again after this punishment to realize their mistakes. It's recorded in Numbers 11th chapter, which we can read now to understand about what they did. So we get the verse. So then it says, "Now the people complained about their hardships in the hearing of the Lord, and when he heard them, his anger was aroused. Then fire from the Lord burned among them, and the camp was consumed of the outskirts of the camp. When the people cried out to Moses, he prayed to the Lord, and the fire died down, so that that place was called Tabera, because fire from the Lord had burned among them." So the 8th instant, it's not explained what about the issue is though, but they again complained once again to God and displeased him once again, and God punished them again, this time by fire, and consumed all the people at the end of the camp that they were living at. Since these Israelites were complaining to God once again, God had punished them and displeased God, as it says in this verse, and the fire, he had burned the place with fire, and this had caused the ends of the camps to be consumed by the fire. So now we'll go to the 9th instant, where we can read from the same chapter in the 5th and 6th verse. So let's go. So it says, "We remember the fish we ate in Egypt at no cost, also the cucumbers, melons, leeks, onions, and garlic. But now we have lost our appetite. We have never seen anything but this manna." Now, this is not about the food though, but actually it's more of greediness towards the Israelites, but rather of choice. Their mindset about the way of life in Egypt, trying to connect and compare the food according to their fleshly mindset, we can see here. Now, this is not about the basic food, rather the choice of food we need to understand first. So even now in our lifetimes, we can connect and compare with some examples like Israelites did, but our faith should be the same. God does everything for good and for the best of us. The adversary always, from the Eden garden, will try to deceive us according to the fleshly desires, which is not according to the will of God. The Israelites even make Moses stumble in his ways, of course, by stressing him out in these ways. Yes, we know that he knows God is leading them through him, and he is always with him. We understand Moses is. But there was an action to provoke Moses to the burden point, and which is very painful for him. And the meekest man on earth, we can see, got angry in many occasions of these instances. We can see by what the Israelites had provoked Moses and made him feel a burden. And we can, as the worst case, we can ask God, where we see Moses asks God to kill him, to leave him alone with the Israelites, rather than to leave him alone with the Israelites. He's saying, Moses is saying he'd rather die than leave him alone rather than with the Israelites. He's saying here to leave him alone with the Israelites once again. Moses is saying he's had enough of the burden, the Israelites, and the problems and the provocation of anger they're causing him, and he says that he wants to die rather than staying with this law. And we can read that in the 15th verse once again, which says, "If this is how you are going to treat me, please go ahead and kill me, if I found favor in your eyes, and do not let my face my own ruin. And do not let my face my own ruin." So we can see here, Moses has gone to the extreme of has had enough and is fed up with the Israelites' mistakes and anger and provocation they're causing towards Moses and the stress, since they caused the meekest person to experience that pain and get angry on many occasions, we can see here. So that's all what we've got for today when we looked about the 8th and 9th incident. So let's go through about what we just learned. So first we learned about the 8th incident, which is not given a clever description about what exactly in depth happened, but rather we can clearly see that the Israelites had once again displeased God in the issue and complained. So God had punished the Israelites in a way so that the fire had consumed across the outskirts of the land, and then we saw that the place that they were camping was now called Tabera, since it was the place that God had burnt among them. Then we saw the 9th incident, where we saw that now the Israelites had become a greedy in a sort of way, as they wanted more sophisticated food and food of variety, and they were not happy with what was given to them every day, because we all know that God is giving you the best there is to survive. But no, the Israelites got deceived in their fleshly mindset to go to these fleshly desires of what the Egyptians gave every day, the variety. And this is what we can understand. God is always giving us the best for us to live and follow his path. But Satan is always there to deceive us and take us to the wrong way of how we should actually act. So we can see how this was a real bad incident that the Israelites had done here by showing this greediness of wanting more in the food way. Then we can see in the last thing, we saw that how the Israelites had even made Moses, the most meekest person on earth, stumble by their provocations and their deceivingness and their disrespect and disobedience towards God. This burden and pain that they made Moses feel made the meekest man on earth anger in many occasions. We see Moses go to the extreme of wanting to be killed than rather staying with Israelites, as he's had enough with this and is pleading with God to do this, as he's had enough with the Israelites and their actions. So that's all for today. See you next time. Bye.